Hey there, guys. Welcome to another Sunday night watch chat. I'm doing it solo today, well, at least for a little while, and I'll throw the invite in the chat a little bit later on. But having a good day. I had a good day, right? The Washington football team won today, so very, very happy about that. It was a little bit of a nail biter. Mrs. Legs is happy because the Eagles won today, and her Wolverines won yesterday. So usually, when all our teams win, everybody's in a better mood. Uh, just a little bit of a warning: I may be called into pinch hit for the sleep time tonight. The kids are giving us a little bit of a headache lately when it comes to that kind of stuff. But enough about that stuff. I am wearing, speaking of Washington, I am wearing the Bling Master today. Really goes well with the gold here of the Washington. I know you can't really tell right here because of the lighting, but it seems to be my lucky watch when I'm watching Washington. They've won 4 games in a row, so yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna keep that until it doesn't work anymore, right? Anyway, what do you guys are wearing on wrist? Let's say hello to a couple of people. I want to talk about something today, and I want to get like a little check, a reality check from you guys, and see if I'm way off base, and then we'll throw it up to the chat, like I said, and get out of here just before 9 o'clock, maybe a little bit sooner, so that you guys can head over to Sanjay's channel to watch Sunday's Watch Soup. Great, great stream by our friend Sanjay. Dan is here. Hey, Dan, how are you? What's going on? MST, what's up, man? Hi, guys. My Yub is no longer a super case. I can sleep at night. I know what he's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about. Bill K is here. Speaking of Sanjay, there's my bud Sanjay. How are you? Wilson, what is up? Nilo5280, what's going on, buddy? Chaz from the Berg. I like saying that, Chaz from the Berg. Riss Ross is here. Hey, all. Hey, AZ Clayton, how you doing? Thanks for coming on. The chat there. And Tim, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Very, very early in the morning. I'm sure where you're at. Hey, another Clayton, Watchdog Podcast. What's up? Please check out Clayton's his podcast, the Watchdog Podcast. Great, great stuff. I like to listen to it, especially when I'm working. It's awesome. I think you can catch it on iTunes and probably Spotify. If you want to put that in the chat where we can find you, Clayton, that'd be awesome. Uh, yeah, the Lions won, right? That's amazing. Good for them. Good for them. Hey, James, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. Oh, Karan is here. How you doing, buddy? Ken Spear checking in from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh winning a tight one today. Bring back John Reagan's. He was my favorite. He was my first favorite football player. He was the first guy that I could remember. And Number 44. I know he started off with the Jets, but by the time my stream of conscious with sports came on, he was with the Redskins behind the Hogs of offensive line, Theismann. Um, yeah, just um, just a great great team. Great time to be a Redskin fan or Washington fan now. Um, Clayton saying now let's hope they lose the rest and get the first pick of the draft. Sure, sure. Thanks, James. Yeah, family first, watch a second. B Dev is here. Hey, B Dev, what's going on? Cowboy Swami, solar tuna with stainless shroud. Oh, very nice. Hey, Jeff, what's going on? How you doing? Kevin S is wearing the Seiko Sharp Edge GMT today. Nice, nice watch. Sanjay's wearing the El Primero. Awesome. Hey, Brownie's here. What's up? Pale Horse, how you doing? Jared, what's going on? Rocking the White Towel Seamaster. Very, very nice. It's a beautiful variation of the Seamaster for sure. Hey, Caliber is here. James is wearing his Grand Seiko. Let's see here. Anybody who I haven't shouted out to? No, I think that is it for now. So I want to talk about a watch. a collaboration that came out earlier this week. And look, I'm guilty somewhat of falling into the hype. So Revolution Watch came out with a collaboration with Baltic, and I got to be honest with you, um, Baltic watches, they they look good, tastefully done. I've had one in the channel for review. It was the HMS 02, I think that's the sector dial one. And while I was excited to get it in, I was disappointed when I got the chance to review it. Again, it looks really, really awesome. Um, but there were a couple things that I didn't like about it. Mainly, the version that I had the exhibition case bag, which adds some thickness to the watch, and it sat on my wrist, and the lugs were floating. If you know what I mean. So I use the analogy that it looked like a 70s or like a 1950s, 1960s UFO spaceship that you would see in on TV or in the movies back then. And I just didn't like it. And I also felt a little hollow inside. It didn't feel um, real. It was just, I don't know. There was something about it that that was disappointing. And I was looking forward to getting it. Like I said, I was at the time I was interested in adding a sector dial to the collection. I had reviewed a Timex Waterbury that was around $150 MSRP, maybe just under 200, and was very, very impressed with the build quality of that one. And so, like a next tier up, next jump up would have been something like a Baltic, and then Longines and whatnot. And I got to the Baltic, and like I said, I was a little bit disappointed. Now, Baltics, they have a really huge fan base, right? Um, they got their fanboys, and people who support the brand. I see people all the time posting up on Instagram multiple Baltics, right? Um, so you definitely have some good followers there, and their collaborations seem to do really really well, especially in the secondary market, right? So part of the motivation picking this watch up was, to see like what it could be worth down the road. I mean, this is I got to be honest with you. I'm looking at it more as a flip. But then when I started reading more about uh, the article, and by the way, this watch is sold out. It was a limited of 250 pieces. Um, yeah, 250 pieces. Uh, I was reading the article, and there was a very interesting line that was written here by Wei Ko, who is the face of and owns Revolution Watch, I believe. And he said, Etienne Malik, the founder of Baltic, the world's hottest micro brand, is to me one of the horology's most brilliant designers and future stars. And so that took me a little bit back, right? Because for me, there is really nothing original about this design. Now, yes, it looks good, but there are elements here of many other vintage watches from the past, from Patek to Longines, Omega. And to say that he is one of the most brilliant horological, um, what's that, brilliant designers and future stars, well, maybe he is a talented designer. Um, maybe he is a future star, but not at this moment in time, and not with this example here, in my opinion. you know I mean, let's call it what it is. Baltic is a good looking watch, and they use parts, that are quite common, right? And they put it up and they package it nice together. um, but I take a little bit umbrage on that, because that's, I find, insulting to a lot of other designers, right? Um, let's go before I continue. Let's go onto the chat on this one. Michael saying hello, Bobby, and to everyone in the chat, reporting live from Chicagoland. How you doing, sir? That's a 1 star. Hey Neo, how you doing? Hey Jason, what's going on? Nice to see you here. Let me copy something here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Uh, let's see here. Anybody has any say on this here? Not bad if the price is decent. This one was going for $670, and my total with shipping was 705. Um, and it's got a seagull um, manual chronograph movement, which is cool to own a or have a manual chronograph under $1,000, which is great. Um, but yeah, I mean it's a solid case back, so you don't even get to see the movement, which is actually kind of a cool looking movement. So I'm not really taking umbrage here with Baltic per se. I'm just really peeved by that um, description by Waco, for sure. Let's catch up here. Great to hear, Engineer. Okay, it looks like they're talking here. Yo, Ken. Hey, Dirk. What's up? Haven't been caught alive in a while. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Um, love that Kaiser specialty video that you did today. It was awesome. Um, Michael saying I've yet to add a chronograph to my collection. I dig their look, just don't have a reason to time anything right now. Yeah, I like timing my wife when she's driving to see how fast she's going. We have a tachometer. That's actually kind of fun. Uh, Wilson, I heard it makes a good bathroom watch. Um, is anyone in the chat getting a watch for Christmas? We'll get to that. We'll get to that, BDev. That's a good question. This Baltic did not need the sector dial layout. Yeah, I mean, it could have probably stood alone with the biconvex, right? But and the thing is too, this is a fairly small watch. I mean, you're looking at 36 and a half millimeter watch here. So it is a small watch. Um, Kevin, it's not hard to sell 250 pieces when its brand is pushed by Waco and Jean-Claude Bivet. Yeah, very true. I think there was I think you were showing me, Kevin, you sent me a message with Jean-Claude Bivet wearing a Baltic. Was it this one? Um, yeah. Um, let's go on here. Pretentious much? Yeah. That's a lot of praise. The butter must have been excellent and rolled it right off a wink. Goes, okay, yeah, yeah. Probably should have read this before I posted it. Get offered stock options. Yeah. Uh, right. Scott saying to me, Baltic's true value is popularizing dress style watches. Look, I mean, I think they're good looking watches, right? I mean, they're good looking watches. The my experience with the one I had was underwhelming, but on in photos, they're really good looking watches. And truth be told, we'll see about this one. We'll see how this one fits for sure. Um, at least he designs more than Pagani design. Okay, fair enough. Absolutely, fair enough. I just ordered the new G-Shock from work, so I suppose it counts as a Christmas watch. Okay, Jared answering, I think B-Dev's question before. Waco said pretty much the same thing about Furlan Mari. Not sure I trust his judgment these days. Yeah, look, I get that he is trying to push the collab, but that's man calling Etienne Malik a future star. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe he will be a future star, but not based on anything I've seen so far. I mean, can he make a tastefully done, affordable watch? Um, with who knows how long it would last, right? I mean, it didn't exude confidence in the longevity when I reviewed that sector dial watch of theirs. Like it just didn't feel, it just didn't have that feeling for me. But that's just me. Uh, Beans is saying, can we get watches with Mercury on right now for more live zingers? I sent him the invite, so You know, we'll see. You know, the shilling going on around micro brands is so disgusting. I'm starting to hate the entire movement where I once held high hopes. This this 600 beater better than AliExpress $90 Pagani? I don't I don't know. I don't know. Well, before we continue, we do have somebody joining in real quick, and yeah, yeah, let's give him a little introduction. Seiko Doxa. Seiko Doxa. All right. Hey, Dib, welcome on. Appreciate you coming. You okay, Dib?
Oh, Lord, come on.
Dib,
Hey, how are you?
good man. Good, and thank you for joining. I've seen you in the chat. What do you what are your thoughts here? Am I off base here, thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't think so. Scott, he mentioned a very good point. Baltic is good for people getting back into dressy watches. Um, Now, are they original? No, hell no. They're watches which are derivative, their designs are pretty derivative. They use the last one with the micro rotor Chinese movement. They use brigade numerals, which looked pretty fine. And
Hmm.
for the price point, yeah, it's pretty good. You get people in, people get interested in a micro rotor movement. I mean, it's not the best.
Hmm.
You can't expect anything well finished for 500 bucks. I mean, but it's a start,
Yeah.
and I think they're heading in the right direction. They have a decent base and a fan following. Um, they seem to sell out of their watches, which is
Hmm.
a good sign.
Hmm.
So I think they're doing good, but Waco has too much. It's like when you upgrade from Costco butter all the way to Whole Foods butter. That's where he is right now. Like, like it's like it's like proper beasting there.
What an appropriate butter analogy. Thank you. That was awesome. Sanjay saying, always struggle to see the appeal of Baltic. Seemed nice enough, but never got my blood pumping. And that's just me. Yeah, I think I have to say that initially I was attracted to their designs, and also there's also the fact that Baltic is based out of France, and I'm somewhat of a francophile. I mean, I root for France, and I wanted to see something good come out of there as well. But this is this is not it. There's nothing French about this watch particularly, or this brand. Um, so you know it is what it is, I guess.
It is what it is, and as you say, there's nothing uniquely French about it. Um, they're using derivative designs at a decent price point, so they can get people in.
Hmm.
It's all about making money,
Yeah.
not like Yamaha where they still think they can do shit like Kickstarter and then crap out after a while. But their customer service seems to be decent, not bad. So I'll give them 3 stars out of 5.
Okay.
There's room for improvement, to come out with new designs of their own.
Hmm.
Wherever I'm not sure where they're based out of in France, but they can definitely use the angle where, oh, we are from, the Toulouse region of France. We're
Hmm.
incorporating designs which, we see here, whether it's buildings, food, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's a money-making enterprise.
Yeah.
There's nothing unique about it.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Hey, AB, thanks for joining us. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Hey, B.
Scott saying to be, I've never been into micro brands. There's some that are interesting, right? And look, like if Waco didn't write those words, like I would have just kept moseying on and being okay. Baltic, I just nothing original about them. A little disappointed from my experience, but a good looking watch, and I could see how people are attracted, a good price point. But this talk from that article is just it's just got me going here. Kevin S. Hodinky and Warren and Wound also love to tout Baltic. Yeah, I mean, you know, um, makes
Well,
you wonder
they
who they know.
well,
Yeah,
all Baltic are doing, and they're just sending baguettes and French wine, and Ben Clymer is having that
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, and then let's write some good words about them. Help our Frenchy friends out. Okay,
yeah,
French friends out.
yeah.
You know.
Hey Thomas, how you doing? What's going on? Uh, let's see here. Kevin S. Sector dial, star on the dial, buy compact, salmon dial, check, 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 check. Right. Um, hey, but yes, I did buy one. I wanted to get one in for review, and honestly, I'm probably not going to be keeping it. Um, but um, but I am curious. Scott at Barbie Legs, I think it was underwhelming to you because you have had nice watches, but imagine being someone who only stays with Seiko level watches. Well, Seiko Doxa. Dib, what do you think about that statement?
Um,
Look,
honestly,
I yeah, go ahead. I'm
I've
sorry.
never had a Baltic before, but I have had more than 150 Seikos in the last 1.5 years. I The design aesthetic on a Baltic doesn't do anything for me. I still would buy a Seiko over a Baltic just because even with the stupid, million colored design, million dial designs, they have a few core watches which are very good, and I'd buy that over a Baltic any day.
Yeah.
Um, yes, the movement is a travesty. They can do better, but all you need to do, especially with the Seiko, is find the right deal,
Hmm.
whether it's pre-owned or new, and at at the price point which you are going to buy it, and not at retail. Never buy a Seiko at retail. I've sold watches to people Seikos for retail, and I just laughed. But hey, I made some money. But you know, Seikos with a good discount, I think is still decent value. But again, Seiko keeps pushing the price point higher and higher and higher, and it starts to become very difficult to defend that brand. Where
Hmm.
they start a fashion brand approach.
Yeah.
But even now, I'd still choose a Seiko any day. A nice Presage model over a Baltic, bring it on. Like the
Yeah.
Sharp series, or one of their animal dials, pay a
Hmm.
little bit more, 1100, $1,200 mark.
Hmm. Yeah. Look, Scott, I mean, your criticism, it's valid to an extent, right? I have had experience with nice watches. I so when I had the Baltic sector dial in review, I wanted to add a sector dial to my collection. I haven't yet. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on one because I knew it was going to be a watch that I may not wear all the time. I had high hopes for Baltic. It just didn't fit well, and it was just a curious overall design and case layout for me that it just didn't work for me. And then I felt like it was kind of hollow inside. But that wouldn't deter me from ever getting buying a micro brand. I still would consider. I mean, I wouldn't, not buy a micro brand because I've had experience with luxury watches. Um, but at the end of the day, I agree with Deb. I think I would get a Seiko over a same price micro brand
Well,
or around the same price.
I have been very closed towards micro brands, but my good friend Beans and Basil, in his YouTube channel, he does a lot of micro brands,
Yeah.
and I talk to him all the time, and there are a couple of brands which will make you change your mind. The problem with a micro brand right now is at any price point, especially under $1,000, is how do I differentiate myself from the other brand? Spinnaker, something from Long Island Watch. I mean, all these at the end of the day look like copies or homages. So
Yeah.
how do I differentiate myself? And
Hmm.
in that point, Baltic seems to be doing pretty well. Their designs are not mind blowing. It's not earth shattering, but um, yeah, Laurier is. I think Laurier is a good brand, especially at the price point, $500 or so. They have built a good fan base. They utilize
Hmm.
the right sort of marketing with Lord Governor the last, but you know, and I've had a couple of Lauriers. They're pretty decent, watches for the quality. Would I buy them again? Probably not,
Yeah.
because I bought the Gemini,
Hmm.
which had the seagull movement,
Yeah.
and I avoid any watch with that seagull movement now. It's just a crap movement, especially because all it takes is one drunken move. You're drunk
Yeah.
and you wind it too much and you'll break it.
I've had the Laurier Gemini too. The Panda dial, the white dial with the
Hmm.
black bicomps, and I thought it looked great in the pictures. I put it on. It was nice. It was nice, but it still felt a little cheap. And look, it's affordable. But the mind connect is not there. I see it. It looks great. I feel it. It doesn't feel great. And there's where a disconnect there with like my hand and my eye goes. You know what I mean? I think that's maybe some of the root of the problem here with me. And maybe others are better at processing that, throwing in the calculation
Hmm.
of the affordability. But for me, there's something, it's not making that connection.
So to
Yeah.
me, what essentially pushed me to sell the watch was I have a Zelos in one hand and I have a Loria on the other hand. Now, the whole point of a micro brand is essentially in that price range is the you know bang per buck quotient, and I did not find that in a Laurier. A Zelos, definitely, good loom, good bracelet, good case finishing, well, decent case finishing at a price. The Laurier, it was nice, but I did not feel like I was getting my money's worth, which to me at least, and it's purely my opinion, a micro brand in the sub $1,000 range is purely that. What can it give me for the
Hmm.
price I'm paying for it?
Hmm.
Established brand doesn't have anything to prove. Seiko can keep churning out shit and people will still buy it. They'll complain, but they'll still buy that because that's what I see from the dealers who I buy watches from. They're like, we can't keep watches in stock, even though
Yeah.
Seiko is coming out with a million products.
Clandestine luxury. If I go to sleep tonight with a Seiko Doxo jam in my head, I'm sending your wife a cake.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I'll get a cease and desist. You're right. Okay, scrolling up. James, I find it difficult to give someone so much credit for mix and match heritage design elements. It's like praising Taco Bell for creating an enchilada. Um, Rob, you've broken it down pretty well. Not original, but shows taste. So ultimately, that could lead to something nice and unique in the future. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he is a future star. I just, that Waco is definitely going out all on a limb there, way too much, and he's pushing a watch that he didn't have to write that article. That article, it would have sold out anyway. 250 pieces, not a lot, and there's a lot of Baltic, fans out there. But whatever. Um,
I think to your point, James, you know, what I feel good about Baltic is the price point which they're making their watches at. Many of their watches, I mean, I'm not a big, I don't play in the huge, high expensive realm. But there's a little bit of Breguet influence, there's a little bit of Patek influence, and to have that at a cheaper price point is definitely something which is alluring, to somebody who wants to get the look of that watch.
mhm.
Doesn't want to buy a clone or a copy from Pagani Design or whatever brand popped up in AliExpress the last minute. So you know it's
Yep.
a that's a good way to look at this brand at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Calico Basin, thank you for the super chat. You said pumping. Wow. Yeah, I had way too much fun making those intros for Dib. I was just begging him the other day to come on somehow. I didn't want to let him know that I had him, and I finally told him, and I think I probably promised him that I wouldn't do it, but I did. So I
Yeah.
did. It's a lot of fun, and you're a good sport. Thanks so much for for Seiko Doxa.
Oh,
Right.
look at my face. That's hideous.
No, 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 no.
A
You're,
face
you're...
only a mother and a wife can love at this point.
Hey, that's two more people. Well, that's all right. Put these fashion watches on a scale from best to worst. Cartier, Fossil, Hermes, Bell& and Ross, Baltic, Swatch, Movement.
Uh, I have a difficulty putting Cartier as a purely fashion watch brand. To an extent, Bell and Ross too, and all these are at different price points. So if you want to look at it from a price point, it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, movement all the way in the bottom, Swatch above it, Bell and Fossil somewhere dangling at the end, trying to hold on to movement. Hey, we are still relevant at this point. Well, they're still relevant making 48 millimeter watches and selling them out in India, but I'm not sure where they're at right now. The worst part was I saw an ad in the TV, and it's a very Indian specific, Indian market oriented ad. This Fossil watch, it's a mechanical watch, and this girl comes along, playing nice. Oh, I'm looking so good. Here's my lover, and she just gets a twirl from the guy. So like how would they do it in those Bollywood songs? And after 3 seconds, oh look, my watch is charged. I'm like, fuck, oh, fudge me dead. So yeah, I have no clue what they're doing, but I hope they succeed. Good luck to Fossil. But all they're making is a mockery of themselves and possibly to an extent Zodiac. I'll share the link if I can. It was beyond ridiculous. So
Excellent. So I threw out the link in the chat. A couple of things that I ask, right? Um, that you have a headset or a microphone or something that we could speak to. And second of all, don't push your micro brand or straps. Only Amin gets to push his straps on this stream here.
oh,
So
I
um,
thought I am going to open my own micro brand. We'll give you wood watch.
you
You know,
can for sure. You can. All
and
right.
it will be made out of a composite material that we can get from the dump here. Fancy.
Scott saying I'd rather have a Mont Blanc salmon dial. All right. So we do have somebody here. Hey, Calico, what's going on? Thanks for
Hey,
joining us.
hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
Calico, how's it going? Been a while.
It's going good now.
Yep. And we have AB. What's going on, guys? So,
Oh, look at
um,
that sexy hair.
so Calico, before we get to you, AB, I saw something AB said in the chat. He said he's ready to talk some smack. So I would like to hear what AB's got to say about this specific topic. I know you've reviewed Baltic recently.
Uh, I think I've got to talk smack about myself. I can't even get this stupid camera to work.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
I need to get some in.
what's up, guys?
Nothing
What's up,
much,
baby?
AB.
Did you buy that Baltic?
I did.
The Revolution?
I did.
I am so sorry, dude. I don't know what's happening. All right, you'll just have to see half my
You're fine.
face.
You're fine. You see,
You're still too handsome for the entire crowd. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks, man. Only my mom ever says that. Congrats, man. I missed it. I actually wanted to buy one. I was pretty disappointed in Baltic. They released a Middle Eastern limited edition. Did you see that?
no, no, I haven't seen that. Oh no,
No.
no, I did see that. I did. There's like three
Oh,
watches.
okay, so it was limited to 77. Now,
Oh, okay.
here's the backstory. I speak with a lot of brands before I do a review and stuff like that. And a couple of brands, I can't mention one of them, but I'm going to mention Baltic because they stabbed me in the back with this one. Okay. I have been suggesting an Arabic dial for a very long time, right? Because I'm from Egypt. So for me, anything with an Arabic dial is super cool. And they released the first one with a green dial and didn't let me know. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I emailed them and I was like, hey, the next time you get an Arabic dial, let me know. And then they released the new one, the new Arabic dial, the diver. No, it was the GMT, the chrono, and the sector dial or something like that. And then I missed it. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go in the pre-owned market. The Baltic chronograph on Chrono 24 right now is $7,000.
Wow.
$7,000. And I'm lost for words. $7,000. I don't even want to know. Did you pick up the Waco one? Like the
I,
Revolution one?
yeah. I did. I mean, that's I got an email
Mm-hmm.
um earlier in the week, right? Because I had put myself on a waiting list for another release of theirs at the Handheart release, right? So I guess I'm part of
Mm-hmm.
that now in their email. And so I knew how successful those Baltic collabs go, and they sell out pretty quickly. So I bought one, and then by
Mm-hmm.
the time he put out the article a couple days later, it already sold out. Yeah.
Yeah, when I found out about it, I actually liked the watch and I wanted to buy it. The one thing that's been bothering me with Baltic lately, and it has nothing to do with the brand, if you actually speak with the owners of the brand and everything, they're really cool guys. To me, it's more the people that are buying the watches and selling the watches. When I did the review of the micro rotor, right, I said
Mhm.
it's a cool watch, but you buy it for what it is. It has a Chinese movement. I even said in my review, I don't know the long term performance of this movement, right? But the fact that you can get a micro rotor for $500, that's cool. Uh, to my surprise, I got an email from someone saying, hey, thanks a lot. And usually I don't respond to those emails, but for some reason my curiosity kind of kicked in. So I was like, hey, dude, like, are you good? Like, is
Mm.
everything okay? He's like, after your Baltic video, take a look at eBay. So I looked at eBay and people were selling these micro rotors for $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. And so I made a post on my channel. I was like, hey guys, don't buy these watches for $3,000, because what I saw was the listings, everybody were saying Baltic limited edition, right? And none of these watches are actually limited edition. There was just a limited production in the beginning, but they're going to bring back all these watches. So everybody that's buying these watches for 2-3 grand, Baltic is going to re-release this. This is not a limited edition watch. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think the only difference would be the first batch is numbered and then the rest wouldn't be. But yeah, people
Yeah,
don't read.
dude, it's a Baltic. Who cares if it's numbered? Like, come on.
You
It's a
you
cool
never
watch, but
know
who
that.
cares?
Hey, Random Rob, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey guys,
Hey
how's it
Rob,
going?
Good, good. Glad you could join us here. Did you have any thoughts? Am I crazy in thinking what I'm thinking?
What are we talking about? Are we talking about Baltic watches?
Yeah, we're talking about the Baltic Revolution collab that came out the other day, and Waco, the head guy of Revolution, calling the owner Etienne Malik horology's most brilliant, or one of the most brilliant designers and future star. And I took umbrage with that because really I've never seen anything original of any of their designs. I mean, they look good, but
Well, I'm on Baltic's site right now, and I don't, I don't know. I guess they're good-looking watches, but like, I'm not inspired. Which one are we supposed to look at here?
well, if you go to Revolution magazine, um,
That's too
it's
much work.
yeah, it's too much. So you know what? This is what I'll do. I'll put it up here. So this is what the watch looks like.
Oh, that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
good looking, right?
yeah.
But in
I
this
mean, I'm not
article,
going to buy one, but
right, good looking, right? No doubt. But based on this and any of his watches that we've seen in the past, do we think he's one of horology's brightest designers?
No,
no.
Yeah. So
no.
that's the issue that I take with Baltic. I mean,
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's not like the whoever designed this didn't self-proclaim that, right? So somebody else
no,
Yeah.
proclaimed
no,
that
no,
of them.
no. So my issue right here in this particular instance is not with Baltic. It's with Waco and Revolution Watch.
Yeah, no, he's not. The thing is with Baltic, they're really smart with their designs in that the designs they copy are very obscure designs, right? Like if you know Etienne, you'll know that the guy clearly has a passion for vintage Patek, for example. And a lot of his watches all derive from vintage Patek. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, these designs are original. It's clearly Baltic and stuff like that. And in some instances, yes, they put their own little touches. I won't take that away from them. They did take a long time to develop their own font. I won't take that away from them.
Right.
But in the end of the day, to call them the next best designer is ridiculous. Like that is actually ridiculous. Cool watches, good looking watches. I'm happy that there's people who are paying tribute to these cool vintage Pateks and Breguets and so on. Uh, but it's not that original, to put it nicely.
Is Neff saying this watch is a $7,000 watch?
No, not this watch.
Okay.
I think
Look,
pre-owned it
Baltic's
is.
the first one on the Monopoly board, and it's where it should be.
Wow.
Like I don't play Monopoly, so the joke went over my head.
That's okay, Deb.
Baltic
Just keep.
Avenue. It's like at the very beginning, it's the low rent.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing. Dib is just too focused on Seiko Doxa. Yeah. So, Rob, are you picking up anything for Christmas this year? Watch
Oh,
wise?
that's coming up, isn't it? I don't have any plans for like a Christmas. I don't typically buy watches like tied to an event really. I just randomly buy them. So I haven't bought anything in a while. And the other day I actually bought 3 watches.
Nice.
Or well, I bought 2 and I got one coming. As soon as it comes in, I'll pay for it. But
Yeah. Excellent. Kevin S. Steinhardt copies the obscure Rolex Mill sub design, greatest watch brand ever. Nobody's. So here's the big difference here, right? Nobody is screaming from the mountaintop saying that the design cues and design style of Steinhardt is brilliant and they're the future. You know what I mean? So Steinhardt, homage, whatever you want to call it, it is what it is. But everybody knows what it is, and I think everybody knows what Baltic is, right?
Yeah,
Just don't.
they were both the Cyber Monday doorbuster deal that nobody bought.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, as soon as the next watch in their field comes out with a new release, then they're put back in queue. So like it doesn't. That's the way a lot of these brands work. It's like, what's the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with these brands really is a lot of collectors are making them out to be something that they're not.
Mhm.
They're not independent watchmakers, and that's the biggest distinction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of attainable independent watchmakers out there, but they deserve the title as independents.
Mhm.
Micro brands are just that, micro brands. And the one thing, it's a good and a bad thing, right? Because as collectors, we've been waiting for a lot of things from Seiko and Orient. Very simple things: better bracelet, better quality control, just a decent accuracy. Plus or minus 30 seconds per day or 20 seconds per day is ridiculous. So micro brands came in and gave us a lot of value, right? But for people to treat them like they're anything other than just cool looking watches, value timepieces for the money, I think that's where the problem starts to come in, like with these Baltics and like other watches that are selling for double, triple, 4 times retail uh, for absolutely no reason but marketing.
Yeah. Look, I think the more apt description here is that Etienne Malik at the moment is horology's best aggregator of other brands' designs into making it his own. And look, there might be some talent there, right, to do that.
Hmm.
Obviously, the brand has a huge following and people like it. Um, but this is all that it is. It's an homage. I mean,
Hmm.
it's an homage, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
That's fine.
I wouldn't mind buying a Baltic. I haven't bought one, but none of their previous models have spoken to me. So if something does, I'll buy it. But yeah, it's like a truck stop hooker. Come in, go out. So oh, shouldn't have
I
said
was
that.
right there
Sorry.
with you, Dib, until the very end.
Seiko Doxa. I promise. I promise. In future streams, I won't be as aggressive with the Seiko Doxa, Deb. But I'm
Well,
having too much
Back up.
fun.
What's the story with the Seiko and Doxa little thing?
No, Dib loves Seiko and
Well,
loves Doxa.
I
They're both great
I
brands. I have problems with both of them, but they have some great watches.
honestly I have bought and sold I think more than 150 Seikos in the last year and a half,
Wow.
and I went on a Doxa buying spree. Essentially, I bought my first Doxa in October. By the end, well, so sorry, September. By the end of October, I had 7 Doxas. Then I went
Yeah,
back down to one.
I think
So,
Doxa is like a better better quality, I guess, but it does the same thing where like you get sucked into it, like you start going into like a mania type of
hmm
attitude towards the brand. Like people will grasp onto like a certain particular model of Seiko, and then I did it. I bought a bunch of monsters, right? Like you start going crazy with all the colorways, and I could see doing that potentially with Doxa. Like you want every colorway of the 300T or something, or whatever that new one, that
yep.
600T is. Like I'm sure that's the mania right now with that one.
I agree with Rob. Throwing a Doxa's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I mean, you're going to date her, but you're not going to marry her.
I think Dib and Calico should have their own show with the.
I apologize, Bobby, but as I've always said, you always have a potential risk because I have a loose connection between the brain and my mouth.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's. No, this is great. I'm gonna have
Look,
you
look,
two
what
on
you
all the
guys
time.
need is a U-boat oil filled. That's what you guys need. You need to go this route. Shit's real.
so you bought with what?
What?
Listen, those
U-boat.
U-boat watches are actually pretty dope.
Dude, oil filled.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Does the oil come from a Kazakhstan oil field, or is
It's
it
straight up
good
Italian
oil?
oil, squeezed from
Italian
olive
oil.
branches.
okay.
You do realize Italians lie a lot.
I'm not going down that road. Look, I
All
take
right.
people at face value.
All right. I'm gonna hone this in. Okay.
Yeah, focus.
Let's stay focused. It's actually a pretty good time to wrap up because our buddy Sanjay is going to start with Watch Soup very very shortly. But guys, thank you for popping in. Rob, it's always great to have you on and lending in your wisdom. Calico, this is the first time I've had you live. Maybe not the last, but maybe not. Div, great. Hey,
Sorry about that, Bobby.
no, you're awesome. And AB, thank you for popping in and letting us know your experience with Baltic. I really appreciate whenever you chime in. You're more than welcome. All of you guys are more than welcome to come in anytime. And guys, we're calling it a Sunday night, and we'll see you next week. Take
I'm
care.
staying on the line.
Okay,
Later, guys.
Later.
later.
Later.